Baseball's short-lived Olympic dream.
My name is John Williamson. I'm a Leeds University student. I'll be talking to you today about the controversy surrounding baseball's recent exclusion from the Olympic Games. I'm going to try and provide you with an accurate account from both sides, the IOC and the baseball world, and you can make up your own mind on whether you believe baseball deserves to be an Olympic sport.
Baseball's history in the Olympics.
Baseball had its unofficial debut in the 1904 Olympics as an exhibition sport alongside the likes of tug of war. It was only recently granted medal status in the 1992 Barcelona Olympics. The game followed much the same format as it displayed in its birth origin, America. Rules permitted only amateurs to play, which then changed in 2000 to allow professionals to play. 8 teams qualified through continental qualifying rounds, whom then played each other in a round-robin tournament, followed by semi-finals and finals. Between 1992 and 2008, Cuba took gold on 3 occasions, with the USA and South Korea also taking gold on 1 occasion. From a spectator standpoint, baseball appeared to run smoothly with no major hiccups and produce an exciting spectacle. This view, however, is not shared by the IOC.
Strike 3 for baseball.
At the annual IOC meeting on the 7th of July 2005, all 28 existing sports were put to a secret ballot. They needed a majority backing of 51% of members to remain an Olympic sport. Baseball narrowly missed out with a 54-50 vote, which marked the first sport to be eliminated since polo was ousted from the 1936 Olympics. In a statement following the result, Jack Rogue said, "Needless to say, these sports are very, very disappointed. However, I have to emphasise the fact that they should not fear this purge. The fact is that they should not be included in the programme of the 2012 Olympic Games, but it does not disqualify them forever as Olympic sports." It was announced in February 2006 that the slots made available from the elimination of softball and baseball were to be subsequently filled by rugby sevens and golf for the 2016 Games. Furthermore, it was decided in August 2009 that baseball's reapplication for the 2016 Games had not been accepted. Prior to the 2005 vote, an IOC Commission report had already released a recommendation for baseball's exclusion, stating that baseball is very popular in certain countries, but this popularity is not reflected throughout the entire regions or continents. This resulted in relatively low global broadcasting and press levels. According to Peter Carino, when fans think of international baseball, thoughts will likely gravitate towards players from Latin America, a strong Cuban national team, or the Japanese major leagues. There is relatively low global baseball participation, with only a few cities outside of North America and parts of Asia having suitable existing venues. This was also noted in the IOC report as reasoning for exclusion due to the high cost of Olympic venue construction. Jack Rogue also stated that Olympic sports must provide added value and have a wide appeal, especially for young people, which baseball evidently lacks right now. Another key point outlined by the IOC was the lack of appearance from American professional athletes. The Commission acknowledged the efforts of the IBAF to integrate the best professional athletes in the Olympic competition, but the schedule of professional baseball in North America makes it difficult to ensure that best athletes are available. Olympic historian David Wanenchinsky attributes this as one of the main causes and states that American Major League Baseball are mad and selfish for refusing to suspend their season and allowing Major League Baseball players to participate. Another potential reason, as mentioned by Australian IOC member John Coase, is that drug testing provisions in Major League Baseball are far more lax than World Anti-Doping Agency criteria. This concern has been highlighted by statistical evidence of a high steroid use prevalence since 1993, which has been correlated with increases in banned players and consequential increased offensive performance. Another criticism is that baseball games have an unpredictable length. Although, in response to this, the IBF created a time-constraining rule for the 2008 Games to encourage late scoring to determine a winner.
Baseball's bitter response.
The IBF acknowledged that the main reasons for exclusion were due to not presenting their best players in previous tournaments and a poor anti-doping policy. When digging deeper, however, it is clear that the acceptance of the IOC's decision did not go down well in the baseball world. Some believe that the decision is related to an IOC bias in European sport, which is believable given that 7 out of the 8 IOC presidents in modern history have European origin, including current president Belgium's Jack Rogue. The president of the IBF also told member nations in a newsletter that it isn't worth trying to get the sport back into the Olympics, stating that the IOC had sent a clear message that despite any changes we make, we are not part of their plan. Meanwhile, the Cuban National Sports Institute president attributes the exclusion to the IOC's business agenda, stating that it is an unforgivable injustice. All that matters once again is the economic benefit, the money. When investigating the thoughts of baseball fans on an internet forum, further skepticism is evident. Some are blaming Rogue's personal interests, meanwhile others cite political reasons, describing the IOC as Eurocentric with an anti-Americanism agenda. Aside from these negative remarks, some remain positive.
Well, it was sad. I really think baseball in a way is becoming more global, and I think now is the time actually it would have become more exciting in the Olympics because of more teams that are becoming more countries that are becoming competitive in baseball. But Major League Baseball has the World Cup now, and I think that's going to be a very cool event. And I think they wanted to facilitate more players playing in the summer, which just couldn't work with the season. So we'll worry about the World Cup, and I think that'll be a great event.
Baseball's future.
In summary, it seems that the IOC decision has greater underlying cause to it than at first glance, which Parry and colleagues discuss. MLB President Bob Dupai acknowledges this belief and states that our world has become increasingly smaller. As a result, entertainment product, our product, is going to be worldwide. You can't be parochial anymore. It can't just be about the United States. In an analysis of baseball, Goss highlights the apparent current disinterest in Olympic baseball investment. He outlines the perceived value of the Olympics as a multi-billion-dollar investment that is leveraged by corporations, governments, and broadcasters. Given this, Goss emphasised the importance of the LMB's efforts to establish itself as a viable international brand, of which the World Baseball Classic is an imperative stepping stone for this success. Dr. Schiller, president of the IBF, also looks beyond the Olympics and praises their World Cup and insists that the game is better than it's ever been. In future years, Schiller intends to make further strides into Asia and other European countries. It was also recently announced that the IBF are joining forces with softball to work on a joint proposal for the re-acceptance to the 2020 Olympics. So as it stands, despite the evidently small footholds outside of the USA, it seems baseball has failed to emulate basketball in becoming a genuine, worldwide sport worthy of Olympic Games status. Thank you for listening. The next podcast in the series will be about Rugby Sevens and its successful bid for Olympic sport status.